Okay, Datuk Seri, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. A follow-up to the corruption charges leveled against your son. Do you think you'll be next, or do you think that they will systematically target those closest to you?
No, as I mentioned, when it comes to witch hunting, they will try to get as many as possible. Not only myself, but I think as many leaders of our party, Perikatan Nasional, just to make sure that there will be a comparison to be used in the next election, especially state election, the coming state elections. And they're trying to make sure once they get something against the leaders of Perikatan Nasional, they will make use of that. It's just an optic. Whether they win or lose in the court session, it will be different. The most important thing is that before they reach that decision, is to make sure they can use it during the coming election.
Do you think you'll be next?
I mean, I am not next, but they've been trying to get me. So next means it is one after another. No, they've been trying to get me. I know that they've been trying to get me. So whether it is the next one or someone, they get someone first, it doesn't matter. But the point is, they will try their level best to get at me and also some other leaders of our party.
Speaking of state elections, the coming state elections, from where I see it, PN seems poised to win Kedah, Kelantan, Terengganu, and the way as it is, Negeri Sembilan will be a major battleground for PN against Pakatan PN.
Why Negeri Sembilan?
Well, statistically, historically, PAS has never been strong in Negeri Sembilan. Almost in the southern Malay state, like Negeri Sembilan, Johor, it's never been PAS stronghold. And as it is right now, many are under the assumption that most of PN's machinery comes from PAS, and PAS is the stranglehold for Perikatan Nasional. What do you think of that?
No, I think it is not true. As I mentioned just now, when it comes to support, we are actually working together, hand in hand, whether PAS, missionaries, or even Bersatu missionaries, we combine well. We proved it in the last election. You look at the support that PAS got in this coming election, the majority is very much higher than before. Why? Because of the missionaries. We've been working together. We trust each other. Nothing that will be used again in this coming state election. And when it comes to Negeri Sembilan, it is not about PAS. It is about Perikatan Nasional. And that's the reason that I want everyone to understand from now onwards that we are actually one party, Perikatan Nasional. Missionaries can be used either Bersatu or any other component parties. And we believe the understanding that we have now makes people believe in us, make the voters believe in us. This is what we are trying to prove it. Looking into the last general election, until now, the current government can't even do much. And it seems the rakyat is still believing in us. If they are still believing in us, I think we will also win Negeri Sembilan and inshallah Selangor, and we will give a good fight in Pulau Pinang.
That's it. Speaking of last election, did you ever expected that even the only 18 crowd would primarily give their votes to PN, especially the young ones?
Zaini, let me tell you this. I don't want to be boastful. The very last day on Friday, I was actually here in Putrajaya on Friday because we had a function in Putrajaya with Pemangku Sultan Pahang. Then I left to Larut from Putrajaya. My officer was sitting next to me. You know, he asked me, "Sir, what will be your reading now? What's the number that we might get?" You can ask him after this. You know what's my answer? 75 seats. You see, I'm a person, I'm someone who likes to work. I'm a strategist, as I said. But I don't have to tell people. You ask me about how to win in Ismail, I cannot tell you. But if you ask me whether we can win, I say, inshallah, we'll win. And that's the reason that I will never ever reveal my numbers. Until today, I will never reveal. But you tell me whether I can win. Yes, I can win. I can even win Selangor.
That's a big claim.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. But those days also, no one believed me. You know, I even told someone, which is very, very high ranking, I mean, I don't want to mention name. He asked me, and I told him, at that time, just about a week before, a week or 2 weeks after, or 2 weeks before voting day. And I told him, I said, my number at that time, 68. So, I mean, the only thing is strategy, work smartly, make sure that whatever that you do, you use proper machineries, understanding to make sure that we win. Inshallah.
Speaking of work smartly, you have dealt with the Chinese, you have dealt with the Chinese, you have negotiated with Beijing. Vis-a-vis the overlapping claims, do you think that PMX is playing a dangerous game?
Yeah, as I said, it's true. We shouldn't come out with just a wild statement like that. We've got to be proper. When it comes to bilateral relation, if you want to tell something or you want to talk and discuss something, you must make sure that you have a proper statement to be made. Otherwise, it will create misunderstanding between the two countries. And that's the reason, as I said just now, make sure after this, Prime Minister, when it comes to foreign policy, he must really get briefing from the officers, not from the minister, because the minister is just a new guy. He doesn't understand about bilateral relation and about when it comes to issues like UNCLOS, for example, United Nations Convention of Land of the Sea, Land of Sea. This is a law of the sea. It's all about something that you must understand. So get someone who's experienced, who has the expertise on this, to talk about that. Talk about UNCLOS itself. Get that kind of understanding.
But the situation is that we just got billions of so-called investment, foreign investment, and a memorandum of understanding to invest in Malaysia. And don't you think that how would you word it out against that backdrop? Us just securing billions of investment, and now to talk about China Sea claim and everything.
That's why I said MOUs will remain as MOU until you can actually see those things in the country. But when it comes to claimants, it's different. Because this is our land, our sovereignty. We have to keep it as what we have already decided, and we have already announced it. It is not about claim. It is about our own country. We are here. Someone came from all the way and say that it is their land, and you cannot just say that, because you invest a lot of money into our country, then we can start discussing about our land. Come on. It's something different. It's two different things. When it comes to investments, most importantly is to have a proper agreement to say, you come here, I'll give you the incentive, the benefits win-win by both parties, whether on our side or on their side. It is on investment, because they won't stay here forever. Investors will just come in because they love it. They love this country. They want to invest in this country. There's opportunities of having a proper investment to this country. And it is not about the land. So those are two different things. Investment and sovereignty of the country.
Both you and PMX have been in this the country's political scene for decades. Is he a people pleaser, especially when it comes to international figures?
Put it this way, I know him as a friend. And now I know him as a Prime Minister. I started my career not as a politician. I started my career as a businessman. And I was close to him those days just because he was Minister of Finance. And at the same time, I was also partly involved in UMNO. That kind of relationship create a close relationship, having to know each other well. And those days when he was Minister of Finance, I could see that he has got good people to advise him, and he listened to those advice. But after 1998, he left the government. Until now, it was almost 25 years. After 25 years, I think he has been maybe losing a lot of understanding of bilateral relation, about
What about the colon?
no, that's Anwar. He feels that he knows everything. That's a real problem that he's facing today. I think those people around him should advise him and say, hey sir, why don't you just be careful your statement, or have a proper notes in front of you. If you want to say anything, just to have a proper notes there, rather than just bluntly say something and they will go against whatever agenda mentioned, whether it is in that country or in our country. Today, news can be just exposed to not only about these two, between these two countries, but all over the world. Okay.
There's this, rumor has it that there is this so-called movement to replace you as the opposition leader with someone else from PM. What do you make of this?
Who's making that news? So that's part of their agenda. They are the one who's making the news. It is not coming from our side. So I don't care. You see, the thing is like this. When it comes to this kind of thing, we know that we are united. We know that we are together. I don't care about those people outside there. And they are coming from PH. Oh, be it. That's your agenda. Just because I'm not there in the parliament, you think that I don't know anything? I was not in the parliament not because I do not want to be in the parliament. I was having problem with my eyes. The first week after the operation, I went to the parliament. But after 1 week, my eyes getting worse. I went to check after 1 week, my eyes swollen. And I went and checked again with the doctor. The doctor said, no, I give you another 2 weeks, you better don't go to parliament. Because that will create a lot more problems. And I give my MC to Dewan. It is not about me not going. No. I could not go because of my eyes. That's all. The real one day which I did not go, yes, I admit, because I sent my president to MACC Putrajaya. There was bright sunlight. I got almost blind. I'm telling you, almost blind. I rushed back. And the next day I went to see doctor. Doctor gave me an extension just because of that. No. I have a retina detachment. The film inside your eyeball cuts. Blind.
Wow.
Yeah. It is serious. That's why I don't care. Those people can come out with all sort of statements that they can make. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give them whatever deeds that they have been doing.
But that's the fact that you have submitted your MC to the parliament, isn't that like a handset that shows your attendance at all? Doesn't the parliament have something like, oh, Hamzah Zainudin, MC, something like that?
Yeah, this is the real problem, which I've already told the speaker. Next time, the future, after this, like for example, Tok Guru Ajadi, he's hospitalized. You cannot just come up with a statement to say tidak hadir. Come on. You must say that tidak hadir dengan izin or something like that. But that's fair to everyone. It is not only about me, but for the future of member of parliament. If you're MC, you're still MC. You must state there, MC. It's not like what they are doing now. So I think that must be changed. Inshallah, I think they will change because I've already complained, and I think that's why I said whatever fitnah they have already come up against me, I just pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so that Allah will give them proper.
Okay, last question. The Malays have recently been labelled as arrogant, among other things lah. PMX said that. Melayu jangan terlalu angkuh. Are we vis-a-vis dengan the plurality of our world?
We got independent in 1957. Who were actually fighting for independence? The majority are the Malays. Who got the benefits when we got independent? Everyone, including the non-Malays. Since independence until today, did we ever send someone back and say you are no more a citizen? No. A citizen remain as citizen forever. The Malays have already accepted that they are the citizen of this country. And for those people, the non-Malays, must also accept the fact that we are now together in this country, and don't just talk about yourself. You must look at the constitution. Whatever that you want to do, it must basically based on the constitution. For a prime minister to say that the Malays are arrogant, it must be, I think he's not studying the Malay psyche properly, because the Malays will only get angry and together once you touch the religion of the Malays. What's the religion of the Malays? Of course, Islam. And we, the Muslim, you don't ever touch on this issue. This is our issue. This is our agenda. Don't ever. If you want to talk about that, you come in and be a Muslim. Otherwise, don't talk about this. That's different, you know. That's got nothing to do about race. That's about our religion. And now, there are many non-Malays who are also converted as Muslims. Are they happy? And many of them are very happy. And they now believe that they can work together because they now understand us better. So, those who do not understand about our religion don't ever come up with any kind of statement to talk about our religion. That's where I create more problems into this country. Problematics will only start when you talk about something that you don't know.